Welcome everyone back to Griffith Park, California for our Gym Challenge League Cup BBQ finale here today. I'm Jesus Coronel, that is Dennis Geisler over here. We have our semifinalist round. An upset was made. Joshua Denk upsets Keanu Lasanto to make his way into the semifinal round, and he'll go up against Karan Gupta. And Karan's going to be not in perspective, because this is actually Josh's perspective. It's going to be Karan Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Ogrepunk Cornerstone, Raging Bolt, Whimsicott and Chan Pao, while Karan is going to be on the Calyrex Ice Fighter, Koraidon, Incineroar, Raging Bolt, Brute Bonnet, and Fluttermane.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've seen Josh's team a bunch of times just at different points. And, I mean, the Whimsicott is always going to matter a lot in a matchup like this. Being able to set the Tailwind or do a bunch of other weird disruption. I'm curious what the leads are. I really don't know in this case. And Karan's team is very, I mean, it is that choice band Koraidon, which is always such a weird thing to play against, because, like, Koraidon does so much damage already. And we all
seen
know,
that firsthand.
Yeah, we know how much damage Koraidon does, even without the choice band. With the choice band, you have to be considering some ranges that you've never really considered before. And that gets kind of awkward.
All right, and now before anyone else was wondering about the other semifinal, we need to see Alan Martinez make his way to the other side of the bracket. The opponent for Alan is Rogoth Malavia, so the winner of that is going to face the winner of this one. And amongst the defending champ, amongst the people that have already made the Hall of Fame in 2025, Josh and Alan are the only ones that remain. And we're going to see this battle between Josh and Karan right now. Karan going to lead the Incineroar Raging Bolt. Josh going to lead the Zamazenta Whimsicott.
That's an interesting duo there. Although the Whimsicott does have a lot that it can... I mean, obviously, just the disruption is always so good. At the same time, also, the Zamazenta is going to be very reliant at this point. I mean, again, the thing about the CSR Zama teams is that when you're playing against the Incineroar, you really need Zamazenta to take care of the Incineroar, and early.
I mean, it has the opportunity to do it now before anything else gets in the way. I mean, we haven't seen what this Incineroar can capable of doing, you know. I'm remembering something else. I was thinking like, oh, Incineroar can take a body press. No, that was a different person.
Yeah, and I mean, it probably can, but it's probably a pretty narrow margin. Like, all Zamazenta needs to do is bring it very low, but at the same time, you can kind of expect a fake out here into the Zamazenta, so...
Yeah, especially... Okay, first of all, there was a Raging Bolt switch in to activate the booster energy for the special attack booster from Josh's side for the Whimsicott. We see a Raging Bolt from Karan Terra into the Fairy type.
Which is interesting. I wonder if it's... Oh, it was probably anticipating just a Moonblast into that slot.
Okay, let's make it. So that blanks the turn for Josh. You know, repositions the Raging Bolt into maybe a fine position. It's Calm Mind! It's Calm Mind!
Calm Mindset.
It's going to increase the special attack and special defense, so it theoretically cancels out the booster energy from Josh and gives himself, like, a theoretical choice specs.
That's true, but at the same time, Behemoth Bash is still an option into it, and you're going to take a lot of damage from that regardless, and so it's a question of how much can you stall this out efficiently and happily? You do have the boost now, and I mean, it basically equals the other boost.
Well, Incineroar's getting out of here, that's for sure. Fluttermane comes in for Karan.
That is an interesting switch, and it might just be like, it gives me...
Visual protect as well.
Okay.
Just in case of the Behemoth Bash going there, but it's... I think it's blinking a body press turn. Okay, no, it's Zamazenta going for Behemoth Bash into the protect of the Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt from Josh. It goes for Dragon Pulse, and, it doesn't work against fairy types.
Okay. Yeah, that's, I mean, ultimately a good turn for Karan then, and I think now you can go for something like a Icy Wind and whatever damage from Raging Bolt, because it'll make Raging Bolt be able to do one big hit before Zama is able to do one big hit. And I mean, if Zama wants to wide guard the Icy Wind, then it's basically the same.
Okay, well,
just going for the same switch out. And it might actually,
yeah,
just need to get Incineroar back in.
Just for the Behemoth Bash, and the wind's blowing again. We see an Intimidate go into the Zamazenta to weaken the Behemoth Bash damage. And, well, Raging Bolt might be sitting pretty, and the Thunderclap fails into what was presumably the Incineroar slot. Behemoth Bash lands onto the Raging Bolt. That's not going to be a lot of damage,
that
especially
is
at minus
so
2.
gross.
It's Dragon Pulse. It's +1 into the Raging Bolt of Josh. It's a one-hit KO. Ring that bell, ladies and gentlemen.
That is really, really tough when you're doing that little damage.
And there's the leftovers as well.
Around. And yeah, leftovers recovery is here as well. Yeah, I don't know what Josh does at this point in the game. I really, really do not know what Josh's answer is to any of this.
Yeah, and well, Whim's got the start, but I don't think it's the exact answer that you need. Like, I could see Raging Bolt going for I think it either protects or it doesn't mind being encore the Dragon Pulse.
That's the thing. It's like if you're encore to Dragon Pulse, so what?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, you do go for Dragon Pulse. So if the encore redirects to Whim's not going to do anything. And well, let's see how much damage does Zama's at +1. Oh, that's actually a lot less than I thought.
Yeah, that does way less damage than I thought it might.
Body press and Incineroar. One-hit KO.
Yeah.
Another Bella's Hen Run.
And that was no fake out from Incineroar. Not a fake out. Might have been going for like a Flare Blitz or something. So yeah, I honestly thought that would do a lot more damage. Given that it did not do a lot more damage, I feel a lot better about Josh's encore there.
And Karan is the next Pokemon from Karan. It's the last one as well, because we know there's a Flutter Mane in the back.
Yeah, we know the Flutter Mane is the last one. But at this point, you also have to say, like, okay, what do you do?
It's also a special attack booster on top of the special attack boost it got from Calm Mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So this might do more damage to Zamazenta now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sure might. And,
I'm actually worried about this Karan because it's choice banded, and I don't think you want a choice band walk into a Flame Charge here.
Yeah, you probably don't. Although honestly, if you're banded, you'll do a ton of damage with Flame Charge regardless.
I guess it depends on what the last Pokemon is. If it's Counter Shadow Rider, it might be a problem. If it's Chanpao, you don't mind it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if you're locking into Flame Charge against CSR, it's not that big a deal.
Tailwind goes up.
Okay, Tailwind. And that might even
it has to be a body press into the Koraidon, right? Yeah, it has to be, because Behemoth Vest is not doing a lot of damage. Koraidon takes that half, it U-turns out.
I like that. That should
over half to Whimsicott.
It'll do a lot to Whimsicott there.
And back into the Flutter Mane it goes.
And Flutter Mane has the Sash, so it'll be able to at least either take a hit or draw away damage from Raging Bolt, who will just be able to keep
clicking Dragon Pulse.
Yeah, keep Dragon Pulsing away at that Zamazenta. It'll keep doing damage there.
How much more increased damage is the question, though, because it didn't do a whole lot the first time, and that's a little bit better.
Yeah, not a lot better, though. It was pretty similar, honestly.
And then it did more. It did like 30% that time when it took like 20 the first time.
Yeah. Still at least a light boost, but...
Okay.
At this point, I mean, the options for Josh are either try to KO this Flutter Mane in one turn, which honestly...
I think it might survive... one Behemoth Bash, but it should not take a double up by any means.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing is that it's Sash, so it's going to take at least one hit regardless, but whether it'll be able to actually take the hits from both of them is the question. But the problem is, like, what does Josh do about this Raging Bolt?
I mean, eventually it's going to break out.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, even if it doesn't, it's healing. Like, it's not like Whimsicott does anything to it. Like,
Behemoth Bash into the Flutter Mane. Its physical defense is really low. Okay, well, good to know the -2 doesn't take it as focus fast, but it will just go down. The Karan is now down to Raging Bolt and Koraidon.
Yeah, and it means Koraidon can't just click U-turn now.
Raging Bolt is another Dragon Pulse. It's going to put this Zamazenta relatively weak, actually. Yeah, another one will do it.
Probably another one is going to get there.
And more recovery from this Raging Bolt. Does it get the full? No.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not taking any damage from Behemoth Bash.
And the Encore is ended.
Encore is over.
You could still get Encore the Dragon Pulse, because like even if you do try to Thunderclap, I don't think it's the worst thing that wait, I forget this interaction.
Wait.
If you go Thunderclap and you get Encore, do you still get the increased priority just because you attempted the Thunderclap, or is it just back to normal priority?
I think you don't want to get Encore to Thunderclap regardless, just because...
No, what I'm asking is, like, if you go for Thunderclap and you get Encore before you get to use Thunderclap, do you still get the priority attempt? I'm pretty sure the answer is no.
I think you still move at the same spot you were going to.
Okay, either way, this
The
Koraidon...
Thunderclap would outspeed the Encore anyways, I think.
Yeah, which is the issue, because you need to body press the Koraidon in order to have like your best chance to win this game. Josh is hiding his last Pokemon really well.
Yeah.
And Zamazenta protects.
Okay.
So it prevents Thunderclap from being used against the Zamazenta here. And, okay, another Encore in the Raging Bolt, so it cannot harm the Whimsicott.
Weird choice, though, because it means Koraidon gets to hit. It means Koraidon gets to.
Okay, it does retain the priority. It does retain the priority.
Okay,
We have
yeah.
to press into Koraidon.
Yeah.
It's playing charge. If Fred targets their Whimsicott, if this is the last turn of Tailwind, it might be bad for Josh.
I think there's at least one more turn of Tailwind. Tailwind's not that recent, but the problem is more so that Whimsicott's off the field now, and what do you do about Raging Bolt? Raging Bolt is full HP. It doesn't take any damage from anything Zamazenta's doing.
And okay, there is still a turn of Tailwind, so Ice Spinner is still going to do a lot of damage to Koraidon. It's going to come down to whether or not Raging Bolt can solo out the rest of the game for Karan.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's possible because you're still at +1. Yeah, this might be the last Sun turn, but you're going to do a lot of damage to this Chien-Pao once you take care of the Zamazenta.
Yeah, Chien-Pao's absolutely a 2-hit KO. Like, do you have time to use 3 Dragon Pulses? Is the question for Karan, and I think you do.
Oh boy, here's the Ice Spinner going out into this Chien-Pao. Actually, into the Raging Bolt, so this Zamazenta, okay, it's faster than the Koraidon, so it will get the body press KO onto this Koraidon, and now the Dragon Bolt has to go to the Zamazenta in order to have any chance of a victory for Karan, and that's exactly what happens. It's Chien-Pao versus the Raging Bolt. But we saw that Ice Spinner didn't do that much damage.
And a rescue team sheet, but yeah, Ice Spinner did not do anywhere near enough damage to really threaten Raging Bolt here, and eventually it will be able to break out of the Encore. I can't imagine that 2 Dragon Pulses are not going to get it done anyways, so I think that this should be a Raging Bolt dub.
Ice Spinner comes out again. It needs a critical hit to at least do any meaningful damage. Gets it under half. There's another Dragon Pulse. Critical hit can still win the game. That's the thing.
A critical hit could still win the game, or at least get somewhere in the neighborhood.
Harsh Sunlight's gone, so whatever boost it had for photosynthesis is gone. Leftovers recovery. I'm still holding on to see if Encore's ended. It might be pretty close.
It is over now.
It is. So it opens up Thunderclap, but I think Dragon Pulse is a safer play.
Well,
unless, of course, the Ice Spinner crits.
The first turn it's Protect, yeah.
Oh, right. It is just protecting because it has leftovers. We've seen this before from the past.
Yeah, we have certainly seen it plenty of times before. And now I think you might even take a crit.
And if you do, that's big because that means that no matter what, Karan's played it perfectly. And even for all those Encores, you weren't able to touch the Whimsicott, but that was clearly taken care of.
Yeah, once the Whimsicott was out of the way. And even if the Whimsicott just kept Encore, what do you do? Yeah.
Okay.
It might not have taken a crit there,
yeah, I was going to say. Okay.
It's still...
it doesn't matter. Karan's 16 number 1.
Like, playing around the crit is always such a high bar, and Ryan got the win.
Yeah, that is Karan Gupta being the winner here at game number 1 between him and Josh Denk.
Yeah, and I think game number 2, Josh just has to have a plan to stop Raging Bolt from doing that. Because really the only thing that hits the... I mean, there's more than that hits the +1 special defense of Terra Fairy Raging Bolt. But not a lot more. Like, I think that as long as the Incineroar is kind of maintained like that, gets that work done, it's going to be really tough for Josh.
And it's like, what do you do? Because, like, clearly both these players did not need their Calorexes.
Yeah, actually neither of them brought their Calorexes, which is kind of interesting. And I mean, for Josh, for Karan it obviously works, and for Josh it's like, what would Calyrex have done in this matchup?
Probably get walled by the Raging Bolt after that Calm Mind.
Probably get rolled by the Raging Bolt after the Calm Mind is the thing.
It does threaten Koraidon and Fluttermane. Like, Fluttermane, like, before you probably take an Icy Wind, but, like, the caveat is that, well, 2 of Karan's Pokemon can deal with Shadow Rider, like, efficiently well. Maybe 3, depending on an Icy Wind. And it's just like, I think that's the reason why Josh didn't bring it game 1, and I'm not sure you do bring it.
Yeah, it's tough. I really don't know where you go with this. There's got to be some answer in Josh's team here, but I certainly cannot come up with it.
And yeah, team preview is in fact complete. We're going to get started with game number 2 between Josh Denk and Karan Gupta for the final tournament of the season once again here in Griffith Park, California. See the teams go up into the air, and into the game we go. It's Karan on Calyrex and Incineroar.
Okay.
So that's an interesting lead from his side. And, okay, we were talking about the Calyrex is not being here game 1. They're both here in game 2.
Yeah, they're both immediately here in game number 2. The immediate thing I want to check on, Ogre Pun only has that Ivy Cudgel. We will see in just a moment. And
Supposedly, I mean, we've seen these Ogrepons go for like maybe Power Whip, maybe Horn Leech, maybe
Yeah.
Knockoff.
I mean, we're about to see it in 2 seconds. We're about to see on screen that there's only Ivy Cudgel. And so that
It's super
does
effective against
mean
both of them.
that, for now is the thing. It's super effective against both of them for now. And I think the clear play is to Terra the Calyrex, Terra Water the Calyrex, and try to get as much damage down
Which
with Glacial
Calyrex?
Lance
There's
as
two of them.
possible. The Ice Rider.
I mean, it makes sense. You know, that's the thing with Ogrepon. You know, if you have both the Rock and the Grass, it does pressure Calyrex, Ice Rider, and their Terra Water, but this isn't the case. So might be a actually the Ogrepon switches out. So I was gonna say it might be an interesting situation if that's the case, but no, Zamasu just comes in for the Dauntless Shield.
Yeah, and I mean, it does give you the Dauntless Shield, although I imagine we're probably getting at least one Terra here. That's Karan, so that will have to be the Ice Rider, I think.
Yeah, it is the Calyrex, Ice Rider, so
And that does
into
also
that
mean
water type.
that Josh did Terra because it would have gone first.
This Calyrex means business right now for Josh. And see what it can do here is Astro Barrage. So it's not going to do much in the Cinder Roar because
No
it is
fake
holding
out.
on a Faultless. And yeah, as I said, no fake out either. It might have been a critical hit in the Calyrex. No, that was just that was a straight life orb damage.
Yeah, that's just how much damage that does. Oh, it was the U-turn. Oh, and knockoff into the Calyrex would have done so much for Karan there.
It could just be Trick Room though. It could just be Trick Room from
It could
Karan.
just be Trick Room for sure.
But-
Although at the same time, I don't know that Trick Room actually
Okay, Karan
provides
comes
you
in.
more, yeah.
I was about to mention, unless of course you think Glacial Lance just gets a lot of damage to the Calyrex, maybe even knock it out after the Life Orb chip. Because it's totally possible that's the case. No, it's a Trick
Okay,
Room.
it is Trick Room.
So the Calyrex is not the slowest thing in the field. And the
Yeah.
Zamazenta probably doesn't threaten to knock out. It's close to knocking out the Calyrex. I don't think it knocks it out.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I think it might get there. Depends on how the Calyrex is trained. But I think the bigger issue here is that Zamazenta can now threaten Wide Guard somewhat more consistently, which really weakens what Calyrex, the Ice Rider, is able to do.
Yeah, and I think that opens the window for Karan to start launching Flare Blitzes that will, because we know that a lot of Josh's team is not meant for Trick Room. Like, maybe there's like the one Pokemon he has on his team is Raging Bolt, and we don't know if he brought it. Do we see one Protect from Zamazenta? Do we see a second from the Shadow Rider from Josh? Yes, we do.
Okay. That makes sense. Just stall out the Trick Room turns, although it means that next turn you are very vulnerable to
High
the
horsepower, just in case of a Wide Guard. Into the Calyrex. I'm wondering if Karan, yeah. Oh, Flame Charge? I'm interested in that selection for the Choice Man. I'm interested.
Yeah. Yeah, it means it's locked into Flame Charge now, although Flame Charge is a reasonably consistent option in that it does a certain amount of damage, it hits Calyrex, it hits everything, and it doesn't do any recoil damage to you. So all of that is nice to have. I think Karan probably goes for a pretty similar play, although now with Calyrex coming out, you wonder if you say, okay, actually I didn't want to do that.
Ogrepon comes in again from Josh to at least tank one hit. It's high horsepower once again into the Ogrepon. So anticipating a wide card, Zamazenta is back slower and takes half damage from that body press. Flame Charge knocks out Ogrepon.
Yeah. But Karan didn't need the Ogrepon, or excuse me, Josh didn't need the Ogrepon desperately, so it's not that bad to lose that Ogrepon right now.
That is a lot of speedy Pokemon for Josh's side.
Yeah. Although at the same time,
All of them
Even
are,
if
all of
you-
them are protect at least.
yeah, all of them are protected, but also if you stall out the Trick Room enough, then you have to worry about Koraidon being the fastest thing on the field with Flame Charge.
2 Calyrexes on the screen. Cool. I mean, we do have 2 of them on the screen. Like, we don't need 3.
Many horses.
How many is too many?
I don't know, however many we have right now in Regulation I. Too many
Technically,
gosh
we
darn
have 4.
horses.
I don't know.
Yeah. Mudsdale, the horse.
Oh yeah, Mudsdale's here too.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, Mudsdale's here. We all stand in Mudsdale. All right, Karan switches
Love
out.
Mudsdale.
It's too fast to Trick Room right now, and the Incineroar comes back in.
That makes sense.
It's gonna intimidate the Chien-Pao, so that's gonna be real. As it intimidates the Behemoth Mash, I don't think it's gonna contribute much of anything right now.
Probably won't.
And a Protect too.
Okay. Might be baiting out a Protect turn here. Okay.
Okay, it's gonna do little damage at all. Yeah, yeah, it's so little damage to Incineroar.
Absolutely nothing.
Acid Barrage probably might do just as less, but I think just more than the Behemoth Bash. See that go into that Incineroar and gets it under half.
Gets it under half, but not doing much damage there.
I think there's only one more turn of Trick Room. I think there's only one more turn. And if that's the case, then Karan kind of in an awkward spot. Yeah, okay, it is one turn. So he's either going to be in an awkward spot where with Karan not going to outspeed his Calyrex, and it might come down to if Karan can position correctly, because this Incineroar will let the fake out the Zamazenta, but I'm not sure if you get much benefit right now from the Calyrex. So,
yeah, the problem is just that like Double Protect is on the table for Josh. And I don't really know what Karan can do about that, like Double Protect and then just as long as Josh can get rid of the Incineroar, I don't really know what
and yeah, I had to assume you had to Star Switch it out immediately just for fake out pressure. It makes sense for him to do. It makes sense. Fluttermane comes in as a replacement.
Yeah, the Fluttermane's in the back. I did not I didn't remember there was one more Pokemon for Karan. That changes things quite a bit.
Speed's going to be heightened, but I think there might be like one more turn of Sun left from Karan's side, and it's going to be a Protect from the Calyrex Side Rider. The Zamazenta didn't Protect. Importantly, it's just going to take a straight Glacial Lance, like really comfortably too.
Yeah, it won't take a ton of damage here, but it'll take some damage. Like damage is damage.
That might have been 21 damage exactly.
Yeah, not much damage.
It's into the Fluttermane, but thankfully it does have that focus dash to hang on.
It does have the sash, and now that it's out of Trick Room, the fact that it's able to
and the sun's gone.
Oh, never mind. Sun's off.
This might get dicey, and the reason it's dicey is because Josh lost Terra available, and the Fluttermane, if in order to outspeed the Calyrex, needs the sun. And I don't know if Karan wants to bring a Koraidon right now.
I think you have to. Really.
And if you do you want to read the Calyrex Terra? Because there's a different.
I think you have to.
Yeah, there's like so many Terras that Calyrex Chatterai has gone for. Like a lot of them have recently gone Ghost and Normal, but we've seen Dark do is just as good.
Yeah, I mean, Karan knows the answer. He has a team sheet available.
I mean, you'll all soon learn the answer once we see it on the screen. And Acid Barrage gonna come out. It might knock out the Calyrex actually.
Yeah, it should.
And if it does, I think I know what Karan's up to. Okay, that's not. I know what Karan's doing. He wants to free switch into Koraidon.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the free switch into Koraidon is helpful as well, especially if you are able to play it out like that, because Fluttermane with a typical Moonblast Shadow Ball set is a 50-50.
So it's now a 3-on-3. Josh still hiding his last Pokemon. Wait, no, that's not out. Everyone's out for Josh, so there's still a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a he is hiding a Pokemon. It's like it's accidentally on this. Wait, I'm just remembering something. Okay, Karan comes in. So the sun gets reset. Photosynthesis activates for Fluttermane. It's now faster than Calyrex again.
Yeah. And the big question here, because Koraidon is faster than Zamazenta, I don't know if it KOs with whatever move it wants to use. Probably Flare Blitz.
But again, the Terra's here, and that's the issue for Karan, because Karan needs to identify what's terrestrializing.
What's terrestrializing and also what to do about it.
This could be the turn that decides this game too here. This could be the turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll basically be decided here. There are not enough protects to stall out this turn.
There's the terrestrialization from Josh's side. It's the Calyrex, or is it the Zamazenta? It's the Zamazenta, and the terrestrialization is Dragon.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, Karan has opportunities to read this, potentially win from it, but the thing is...
Moonblast, into the Calyrex, doesn't knock it out, and the Astro Rush comes out. It's going to prompt, it's into the double KO, and I think we'll go to game 3.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that was a reasonable play, because Karan had to pick up the KO.
Okay, game.
Because Karan had to pick up the KO on the Calyrex with the Fluttermane there. Like, probably had to KO the Calyrex with Fluttermane and KO the Zamazenta with Koraidon, and I think that was a good play from Josh to prevent the Koraidon from getting the KO.
More winds blowing. We're still here fine as always, ladies and gentlemen. One Pokemon left for Karan. It's unfortunately Incineroar, which, it shouldn't take anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Incineroar is not going to take a, it might take an Astral, but it's not
Isn't it +3?
It's not going to get through the rest of it. Yeah, it is +3. So it's probably not going to take an Astral.
Not at all, and Body Press does equally the same thing. Karan sent his thoughts. We canceled the battle. We're going to another game 3.
Going to another game 3.
And we just got word Rogoff Malavia is confirmed to be in the finals.
All right, so that's one of our former champions out of there. We'll see if Josh is able to get this one done.
I'm interested to see this game because it looks like this set's even because like it came down to like what each player did respectively, and well, each time it came down to whether or not a Pokemon's Herald or not. I think.
Yeah.
That game two at least. The game one, I think it just came down to Josh not having as much respect to Calm Mind Raging Ball as he should have.
Yeah, I mean, I think Josh played that end of the game in a way that he was very unlikely to lose because I don't think there was any way that Karan was going to get the knockout in that turn on Sama, in which case Sama just body press, got it out of the way, you bring in your Chen Pao, you sucker punch the Flutter Mane, or you deal with the Flutter Mane in whatever way, and then you get rid of the Incineroar. But in any case, I'm interested in what these two are going to lead this time, because they switched up their leads drastically in Game 2 from Game 1. I mean, Game 1, neither of them brought Calyrex. In Game 2, it was all Calyrex. Like, Calyrex was very dominant for both those players in Game number 2.
Yeah, it certainly was, and well, it looked to be like they both did equal value, but it looked like Josh's Calyrex Shadow Rider took control of the game in the end, and
yeah, it ended up winning things in the end. Although honestly, the Zamazenta kind of carried things throughout it, just taking so much damage all throughout.
This is I mean, the Ogremon ultimately did nothing but redirection, which is not the worst thing to happen.
I mean, the Ogremon didn't even redirect; it just ate a hit. It switched out, it switched back in, it got KO'd. Yeah, and it didn't even click follow me, but I mean, it was certainly there. It participated.
All right, the teams are locked in for game number 3. One more finalist to be decided here in the end of the 2025 season. Who will it be? Will it be Joshua Denk or will it be Karan Gupta? Only time will tell from this point onwards. Yeah, we will see the leads indeed, Dennis. We will see the leads indeed. First up, from Karan, it's going to be Calyrex and Incineroar once again. From Josh, it's Raging Bolt Zamazenta.
Okay, so Josh's Game 1 lead, Karan's Game 2 lead. So both of them are leading from when they lost that game. But
oh, that's ironic.
yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be different.
Dauntless Shield activates and Intimidate only going to affect the Behemoth Bash from Zamazenta.
Yeah, it sure will, but the Behemoth Bash is pretty important for the Zamazenta.
As is the booster energy from Raging Bolt.
Yeah. Although at this point, I think that Behemoth Bash being weakened is important because the Calyrex doesn't want a Terra right now in front of a booster energy electric type.
Not at all. That Thunderbolt actually is running a lot of damage to either one of these targets. Maybe not Incineroar, takes it out of Assault Bust, but you know, damage is still damage.
Yeah, I mean, damage is damage, and I mean, if you're boosting a lot, you're doing a lot of damage. The question is, does Karan... I think the obvious answer is fake out Trick Room. It's just what do you fake out, and do you Trick Room, or do you go for like big damage and a Raging Bolt?
Fake out into Zamazenta, so it won't get off the body press. It's all going to come down to what this Raging Bolt does. It didn't even terrestrialize, so it is susceptible to the Great Glacial Lance. Thunderbolt goes into the Calyrex Ice Rider, doesn't even do half. Gets the paralysis though, that might matter.
This could matter.
Does it get the move this turn? Yes, it does. Glacial Lance goes off, and it will knock out this Raging Bolt more than likely. No!
Raging Bolt's still really bulky, but it means that the Trick Room didn't go down. And Calyrex is paralyzed now, which is very awkward to try to play around. And I think Josh is in a really great spot now because there's really nothing stopping you from just kind of clicking your moves. Like, Karan can switch out.
That's a Terrestrialization. That's a Terrestrialization for Karan.
I think it's got to be Incineroar of all things. Right?
Yeah, it's Incineroar. We get to see this Terrestrialization for the first time. It's Bug!
Which, I mean, it certainly changes a couple things.
It changes the Bug the any weakness into
Actually,
resist.
this
and it gets the Protect thought. The Calyrex got the Protect.
It gets the Protect here, and then it'll take a body press pretty well.
Oh, very well. Next up is the Thunderbolt into the Calyrex Protect, which thankfully it was able to break through the paralysis and get it off. And Incineroar has a move to go, and it's the U-turn. It's going to be Terra Bug boosted too.
Terra Bug boosted U-turn. Actually, this might pick up.
And it KOs a Raging Bolt.
Yeah.
I don't think it mattered, but it got it.
Yeah. Without Terra Bug, I honestly wonder if that would have KO'd or not.
I'm pretty sure it does KO, and it does mean Karan gets to reposition this Incineroar away from the battlefield and potentially bring in one of his heavy hitters. And it's going to be, that's not a heavy hitter, it's a Brute Bonnet!
It's a Brute Bonnet. I think if you are, I think if you're Josh, you feel pretty comfortable bringing in CSR here because what is stopping you from Astral Body Press?
Not much, if you ask me, and Calyrex does come in.
Absolutely KOs the Calyrex. Body Press absolutely, it does a ton of damage to Brute Bonnet. Frankly, if it doesn't KO, then you just kind of lose.
All right, and well, yeah, there's a potential translation coming out for this Calyrex as well. Does Brute Bonnet spread any Sucker Punch?
Yeah, there is a Sucker Punch available that you can protect away from it. You can do a lot to kind of avoid that, so it's a lot.
Calyrex from Karan is out of here. What comes in? It's Incineroar again.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Incineroar.
The Terra Bug Incineroar returns to the battlefield.
It means it doesn't resist Astral Barrage anymore, so.
It doesn't resist Astral Barrage anymore. Here's Josh's Terra. Is it the Zamazenta or is it the Calyrex? I think this could be pretty important. It's Calyrex. It's terrestrializing into that Dark type.
Yeah, which, I mean, it means that it won't take much damage against the Sucker Punch this turn if that's what the Brute Bonnet goes for, although it also means that it can get Fake Out in.
No, Astral Barrage comes out.
Yep.
There's no Sucker Punch, actually. Excuse me. No Sucker Punch for Brute Bonnet. Incineroar takes it does kind of well. Calyrex is to move some of his HP to do that. Oh, Brute Bonnet just goes down to that Body Press after the Life Orb damage taken from the Calyrex. So Brute Bonnet does go down.
I think Karan has to bring out the Calyrex right now.
It's Koraidon.
It's Koraidon.
There's Fake Out pressure, so you could threaten both of these Pokemon.
That's why I think that it had to be Calyrex, is because you can double protect right now if you're Josh. Because you could have prevented the double protect by bringing in the Calyrex and having Trick Room potential, but now there's nothing stopping you from going double protect here. We'll see.
I mean,
could always just
go aggressive,
go aggressive with it, but
that's the thing. Like both these players know about the double protect option. Both these players know about the Fake Out option. What? It's just like a rock, paper, scissors at this point. Do you Fake Out? Do you protect? Do you go aggressive? We'll see what happens here. No Fake Out comes out, and Incineroar just going to switch back at that Calyrex.
That's the thing, is that the Calyrex doesn't get to do anything now. Because now it gets to come out, and it's...
probably taking an Astral Barrage.
Yeah, it's not going
double
to...
protect.
Yeah, I mean... I guess at this point...
Well, it does protect.
Because if it's a double protect here, I think this is the one okay play for Karan, because you bring out the Calyrex, you have the option to protect it, and then when you protect it, you have the opportunity to...
Oh, wait a minute. Was that a Flame Charge that
Flame Charging.
Yeah, that's actually smart, because you don't need the Calyrex anymore.
I guess. I feel like you would want it.
This is Karan putting all of his money onto this Koraidon to win the game.
Yeah, and I guess you have the Fake Out pressure again now. So I guess, honestly, maybe there's a route back into this.
It's Poison Band Flame Charge, though, so it's not powerful. That's the issue.
Yeah, it's locked into Flame Charge. I don't know if that KOs Calyrex, which it really has to here.
Man, this is going to be close. The side Flame Charge definitely was smart, but I'm not sure that was the thing you had to do.
Yeah.
It makes sense to outspeed the Calyrex. It's hard because if you don't KO either one of these Pokemon, either Incineroar is going to inconveniently take damage, or Calyrex doesn't win the game for Josh.
Yeah, I'm really curious where this is going, because the side Flame Charge caught me off guard really badly, and now I'm just like, okay, how much does banded Flame Charge do? I don't know. I haven't seen this thing banded very often.
No, you don't. You usually typically see it Life Orb or Clear Emulated or Ability Shield nowadays. Fake Out into the Calyrex. Okay. That might pick it up with the Flame Charge combination. Yeah. It goes doubling into the Calyrex. Doesn't pick up the KO!
I mean, it'll be able to do it next turn, but the problem is
how much do you take from Body Press? It's going to at least do over half. And okay, that's a high roll.
Yeah. Now the question is, do you read a Protect here from the Calyrex and go all into the Zama, who will probably not drop to this?
Another Flame Charge into the Zama Center this time. Doesn't even do it.
But the problem is that no Protect from Josh, and so he wins.
Yeah, there's the Astral Barrage coming out. Joshua Denk is going to be having a chance to be a two-time Gym Challenge champion with a victory and advances to finals against Ragaf Alavia.
At the finals, and yeah, that was a clever little play there, and I guess there was really no way out of that for Karan, just knowing that if you had to use a move on the Calyrex, you're not getting the KO, and if you had to get body pressed by the Zama, then Incineroar doesn't take anything more, and there's one more in the back, so just really well played by Josh there.
Yeah, that is it. Joshua Denk advancing to the grand finals for the first time since the end of Regulation G, mind you. The first time.
Yeah. I mean, making a play for a win here. I mean, this is we've had like what 62 Masters here. It would be huge to be able to win this one.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting seeing. And we're going to take a really short break here before we get set up for the finals. As both our players are ready, we just need like a few intermission breaks. We'll be back really shortly.